I've seen enterprise companies, multi-billion dollar companies have websites which are huge and you cannot find content in it. You can get
Yeah.
lost in it. Only their sales team will know that, oh, here's the page, go look for that page over there. And it's only when you receive the URL that you can actually be convinced that, oh, yeah, this company does this.
I hate saying it, like a silver bullet. What if I'm a CEO, I want some shiny object, or I work with a CEO and I want a website refresh and I want to show them something that's, hey, this is going to be something unique that drives a lot of engagement, but it's not too crazy in terms of like resources to crank out.
So I think it's a bit of a quandary,
Yeah.
It's always, if you're going to need a silver bullet, you got to pay the
Yeah.
price
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
it. Okay. So you can find different ways to optimize your current website. But if you're going for a redesign, then you're going to need to have a whole strategy behind it. And that is not going to be quick. You're going to have to put in the work and the budget into it. The first thing that people should look at is actually their content strategy, their content architecture. Make sure that the website is easy to navigate. I've seen enterprise companies, multi-billion dollar companies have websites which are huge and you cannot find content in it. You can get
Yeah.
lost in it. Only their sales team will know that, oh, here's the page, go look for that page over there. And it's only when you receive the URL that you can actually be convinced that, oh, yeah, this company does this. So make sure that whatever strategy you're going for, I would say your silver bullet has to be just making it really easy to navigate, really easy to understand, making it accessible. Don't forget that 12.7% of the population is handicapped. You don't want to be penalized by Google for not following the WCAG guidelines. If you have that down, even if you don't have the 3D effects or even if you don't have all the frills attached to it, you should be good to go.
Yeah, it's great info. We talked about all the good things, and this made me think about like what's something that's not good. Like, what is the red velvet cake of futures that people need to sunset immediately, right? Because like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, every restaurant in the world had to have red velvet cake, at least in the states, and now it's like
Hmm.
I don't know, man. You don't see it.
Something which is getting
Yeah.
stale. Yeah, I think that's the senseless bombardment of keywords and not having a very consistent strategy in place. I think now it's become a game of consistency. Companies used to just have a lot of content being created and putting it
Hmm.
on the website. It used to work initially, but now people are going to look for number one, and I think Google will actually start looking for this as well if they haven't already. It's the authenticity. You can't just churn out content which is not adding value, and you need to really dig down into the content just rather than having general pieces. Be more focused in your approach, dig deeper into a specific topic, and that's what people want to see now. And some companies which are doing well or which have started to clinch those top 10 spots in
Hmm.
SERPs are those companies which are following this approach. So
Random tangent. Do chatbots influence a Google ranking in any way? Because we're seeing, like you said, like huge content hubs on even the most random websites or like really niche websites. It's hard to navigate, but I'm starting to see a rise
hmm,
anecdotally. Just it's taking me to these
hmm, hmm,
resources as a navigate. I'm seeing it on much bigger sites, like the Fortune 100 companies or 1000.
hmm.
Actually beneficial, or is it more just a user experience?
I cannot say whether it helps in Google rankings as yet. I don't think so, but definitely it helps with the user experience. So, yes, to the chatbots, definitely. The better and more sophisticated they are and easier to navigate, they are easier to talk to. And one thing that I've experienced personally is those chatbots where you can easily get to a
Mm-hmm.
human through a chatbot because every chat starts with the chatbot. But if the journey to get to the human is very easy and simple, then you become more trustworthy of that chatbot that, okay, I won't get just lost in it. That's also another user experience thing that people feel detached that, oh, especially with big B2B SaaS companies, that there's no way for me to get a
Yes.
hold, and especially companies which are not just dealing with B2B but also
Yep.
TTC companies like hosting companies or other lead generation companies. So if you have that ability over there, that really adds value.
All right. I'm going to pivot EMA, the company, the team for this podcast. We focus on B2B tech. That's our space. B2B tech has gone through quite a roller coaster ride. It's still in it. I don't think nothing will ever defeat the innovation of tech. There's always going to be people that want to create things. What are some fundamentals and things to consider if I'm coming out of a launch, if I'm coming out of stealth, right?
Okay, this is a very good question. One thing I've seen, especially for hardcore tech solutions, is building a community, getting people interested in the product, testing the product earlier on. A lot of people do that on GitHub, a lot of people do that on different Slack channels, and just really, if you have the community behind you, if you've created even a community of, let's say, 1,500, 2,000 people, but relevant audiences who are actually testing the product and who are getting, their pain points solved by their product, they will become your advocates, and they're the ones who will help you test the product, improve the product, and also become your very first buyers and your advocates to bring in more people. So number one, it's community building. Focus on that and make sure that your product reaches the right people. You test it out. Number two, when you're coming out of stealth and you've got your first funding and everything, the most important thing is to have a very decent website, a website which actually guides people as to what your company does. And don't worry about gatekeeping things at this moment. Now, what many people are talking about is the more information you provide, the
Yeah.
higher, the better the chances for actually making a sale. The more you get your solution out there, because even if you gatekeep something, they're going to give the information. And if they want to steal, they're going to get the solution guide anyways, and they're just going to. So they can't steal it because you already built it. It's already functioning. It's a whole process. Any tech company, the first time founders, they think about this. But if you look at people who are serial entrepreneurs, they always talk about, don't worry about people stealing your idea. It's your speed to the market, it's your delivery, it's your performance, it's your user experience. So I think that's something, these two strategies should be enough for them to take off smoothly.
Cool. Last, kind of relevant to all of this, is touching on trends. Like we're seeing 90s clothing come back into style and fashion in early 2000s. Is there like a resource you use to stay on top of trends when it comes to like colors, layouts, design optimization for the website? Where are areas people can go to that they can be like, oh, this is apparently pastels are out.
Yep, the best thing you can do is have some Chrome widgets installed, because those are really, really helpful. So I have this Chrome widget, which is a designer daily
Mhm.
report, and it opens up the latest trends of a new designer every day, a new design trend every day, new articles and everything. So you get the rundown of things on your computer right away. Then I have a few other widgets which help me see the code of a website, or help me see which technologies that they're actually using. It's called
Yeah, I
Rapalizer.
think
So yeah, that really helps. Like Rapalizer really helps. The Designer Daily Report really helps. Then there are websites, Behance, and you go to Dribble. You get inspiration from there. The awards website. You visit that and you see what the latest trends are, what kind of websites are actually converting. And if you can find a good marketing or a design newsletter on LinkedIn, subscribe to that. But don't overburden yourself with too many sources of information, because then you'll just end up nowhere.
yeah, 100%. All right. Thanks for joining that episode. Hit him up. We'll have his LinkedIn information. You can find us wherever podcasts are found.
Thank you so much for having
Yeah.
me.
All right, Hanan, it is well known, and to me at least, that you love anime. Love it.
Yes.
What are themes we're going to steal from what animes to build out this website that is going to attract people, right? You can go with colors, powers, vibes.
Like, I've actually seen this. People incorporate Hashira into their website terminologies. Okay, for the non-anime viewers, so Hashira is kind of like a captain, someone who's well trained, like he can take on the big guy, the villain, the biggest villain, and come out surviving. We're including definitely Hashira,
Mhm.
that kind of terminology. Then Bankai, that has to be there. Bankai, again, for non-anime viewers, is like releasing your second form or your third form. That is your ultimate form. And then you kind of like go crazy from there. And I would definitely leverage design wise a bit of Bleach. Especially the new one, the Thousand Year Blood War. That one is good. Then I would. There was a new anime, something Paradise. Remember
Hell's
that?
Paradise.
That had beautiful animation. Hell's Paradise. So Bleach and Hell's Paradise for design.
Perfect.